us, all of us here. These are my bosses, abaqashi bethu. Siyabamukela abantu bala KwaZulu-Natal abasivotela. Esisebenzela bona ngaphandle kokuhluleka. This public hearing is officially opened. Then we move to the second item of the agenda, which are the apologies. I've got a different agenda. Also, I'm the chairperson, you know. Powers that are vested in me by this collective, I use them and all the staff. We received an apology from Honorable Hlabisa, who indicated that due to prior commitments, he would not be making it to today. A very disciplined Uthisha Omkhulu is Mr. Hlabisa, coming from Hlabisa area in Big 5 Hlabisa, Umkhanyakude district. I come from the same local municipality with him. Very disciplined, former principal of school, heading one of the biggest schools in that district called Umkhanyakude. He apologized long time ago. So we're moving to the third item of the agenda, the introduction of this team. I will introduce this team. Why I introduce them is for one reason. I want you, when you meet them on the road, remind them that you voted for them. Where services are falling short, you report to them. That's what you voted them for. So, on the introduction, I will introduce myself only. They must introduce themselves so that you hear their voices. I say loud. I will introduce myself. My name is Sipho, famously known as KK, and my surname is Nkosi. I was voted unanimously. Hey, you know, I was voted unanimously by this team, coming from 4 or 5 different political parties. They trusted that this old man will run the Finance Portfolio Committee very well. So I have introduced myself. Now I would want the colleagues to introduce themselves. Welcome, Makeba Ndabezitha Stulskandaba, the Speaker of Newcastle local municipality, but he will introduce himself. I'm meeting him for the second time uNdabezitha. Ndabezitha siyakumukela, siyacela Makeba kulomhlaba wokhokho bakho ukuthi uzithule ukuthi ubani. Uvalekile Makeba. Mntwana ngizokuvulela.
Umbhobho yabanjwa. Angithokoze kakhulu kuwe emhlonishwa ilunga le-legislature ubaba uNkosi nosihlalo weportfolio lena. Ngikhuleke kakhulu ubantwana abasendlini enkulu nabekhona lapha. Ngiphinde ngikhuleke kakhulu to the members of the legislature in different political parties. And I also say morning to the stakeholders present here, officials. My name is Tengamehlo Zulu, the Speaker of Newcastle. I can't say more than that because I suppose not to say a lot of things here. Some votel or babungos cake. And we are what is slupanaganjan. Thank you very much, babungos. Thank you very much.
Bongihlalo ngibingelele ngithobeke makhosi sendlunkulu amalungu eshamthetho akhona phakathi kwethu ama stakeholders wonke the board members also in our midst, the community members that are also participating. My name is Makosazane Promise Patience Zungu, who originates from Mandeni. She is the member of the provincial legislature, who is a member of the finance committee, but also entrusted with the responsibility of being the deputy chair of committees by the governing party, that is the ANC. Thank you.
Ngibingelele bonke abakhona igama lami uMvumelelo kaZulu oyilunga lesishayamthetho ohlala kwi-portfolio ikuyole yakwa finance ngicabanga ukuthi bonke abantu abakhona bazwele. I'm Mvumelelo Zulu, a member of the legislature and also the member of the portfolio committee for finance. Thank you.
Greetings to everyone. Protocol observed. Igama nguLinda Wakampele. Uyilungu lesishayamthetho KwaZulu-Natal aphinda abe yilungu laleli komiti lakwe finance. Ngiyabonga kakhulu.
I'm Shamin Thakur Rajbansi. I'm a member of the Finance Portfolio Committee.
Morning, my name is Lawrence de Klerk, a member of the Finance Committee.
Good morning, my name is Francois Rogers, member of the Finance Committee and of Scopa.
Siyabingelela sihlalo, sibingelele kuwona wonke umuntu okhona endlini. Igama lami nguPhumlile wakaZulu, ilunga laleli komiti eliphathelene nezimali esishayamthetho sesifundazwe saKwaZulu-Natal. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you very much, honorable members. You know the teams. Can you see none of them indicated from which political party? Because, oh, one did. I didn't hear that. Oh, no. Hey, my comment was off. I withdraw my comment. Honorable members, let's continue with our work. We are now inviting Umtwana Umageba, the Speaker of Newcastle Local Municipality, to welcome us to his municipality. I indicated that we're expecting the officials from the Provincial Treasury. They are there at the back, they have arrived. Mageba, sinika wena somlomo ohloniphekile.
Thank you very much, Babu Nkosi, the chair of this portfolio. As I've indicated, I've always greeted you, but I've got one obligation that I must do for the second time to recognize Abantwana baseNdlunkulu because it's where we belong. That is a fact. It cannot be denied that because all of you are here because of Abantwana baseNdlunkulu, because we've got as much as the King, Mrs. Zulu, that is still, therefore, I must recognize them first. Thank you very much. You are most welcome, Chair, with your committee here. I see the business people that are here. One of my friends, I can say, I can't indicate, is here on my left-hand side. Then most of the people that are here, but I'm a little bit surprised because this meeting has been called for the second time, but I found out there's a lot of people that they are still not here. It's not your problem, Babu Nkosi and your committee, because you've done your job. You say you are coming for the second time, they need to be here so that they can make their inputs. So therefore, on behalf of the Newcastle municipality, we welcome you all, hoping that when you discuss these issues, you'll find an agreement because I know the people that are concerned with the liquor and gambling board. I can see the gentleman from the gambling board, Mr. Yes, from casino. These are the people who make a lot of money. Thank you very much. But Mr. Nkosi, my apologies that you'll excuse me. I'm here to honor this, but you'll excuse me because there's another meeting that I must attend at the Farmers Hall. There's a function for the it's a men's forum, so I must also go there and meet them a little, just for 5-10 minutes. So my apology, hoping that you'll continue very well. Discussion, then find a solution. Thank you very much. Babun Kose, thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the Speaker of Newcastle Local Municipality. You are released unconditionally to go and do what you are expected to do. Sibonga kakhulu somlomo. Sizizwa sithobekile. Ngikhohliwe kuzama apologies awu-2. I am told that there is a stakeholder coming from Bergville near Drakensberg. They indicate that their transport came late, but they are on their way to here. Then I also forgot the apology that Honorable Governor gave. She has got the doctor's appointment today, but she would join our meeting as soon as her doctor's appointment is over. So, ilokho nje esebeke ngikhohliwe ukupolisela. Njengamanje ke sifuna ukuza kwinhloso yalomhlangano. The purpose of this meeting. We are processing the Gaming and Betting Tax Amendment Bill 2021, which was presented to the full House of the Legislature on the 10th of December 2021. Then the Speaker of the Legislature, Honorable Boyce, referred the bill to the Finance Portfolio Committee for processing. That's why my honorable members are here. They are at work processing the bill according to the rules of the legislature. In the processing of the bill, would want to give the opportunity of the members of the public to voice their own issues in relation to the bill. We, as the members of the Finance Portfolio Committee, are not going to respond to anything except when we are duly attacked, like it happened in Durban. Sometimes we are not going to tolerate people who are unruly in the meeting of the legislature of KwaZulu-Natal. That's why we just politely warned those people who thought that they were undermining us. We got insulted there. That's what we are not going to tolerate, being insulted when we are doing our work, because we insult and undermine anybody. That's what it is. We do as honorable members of the legislature. So why are we getting your views? Is because the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa calls upon us to involve the public in terms of Section 118 of the Constitution whenever there is a bill that we want to present and pass if we do go that route. The Speaker has raised a worry as to why are you coming back? No, the answer is clear. When we came in Newcastle in June, stakeholders indicated that we did not give them sufficient notice. They say they were given only 2 days instead of 7 days that we committed ourselves as the legislature. You know, how we take your inputs seriously is demonstrated in the point that I'm raising at the moment. When that was raised, we investigated as to where things went wrong. Things went wrong to the people that were given the responsibility to advertise the bill and the public hearing. so that we don't, they were not seen to be undermining the community of Newcastle and surroundings. We decided to redo the process. That's what we have decided to do. Okukhombisa kahle ukuthi siyawahlonipha abantu abasivotela. I call them my principals, but they voted for me. Bafowethu nodadewethu, into kade siyisho la ukuthi inhloso yalomhlangano ukuzothula umthetho sivivinywa owokugembula kanye nentela ephathelene nawo. Owathulwa ungqongqoshe wezeyimali ngomhla ka-10 kuDisemba ngonyaka odlule. Kutheke mawusuthuliwe usomlomo wesishamthetho unkosazana uBoyce wasethi ikomiti leyimali aliwusebenze lo mthetho ngokwemthetho nemigomo yokusebenza kwesishamthetho. Safika ke la eNewcastle ngoJune. Mangabe sesifikile eNewcastle ukuzolalela thina mayelana nomthethosisekelo wezwe osiphoqayo ukuthi makukhona umthetho esifuna ukushaya kufuneka sizwe imbono yabantu ozobathinta. Abanye ababe ingxenye yalokho bakhalaza ngokuthi asibanikile isikhathi esanele sokuthi banikeze ngoba thina sazinqumela njengeshamthetho ukuthi siyobanikeza ukuthi sizanini endaweni izinsuku eziyisikhombisa bathi sibanikeza 2 kuphela. Yingakho ke siwuphinda ngoba siyalalela ukuthi masathi thina sizonitshela ukuthi siyofika izinsuku hayi ngaphansi kwezinsuku ezisikhombisa. Into ke ngiyibekile ukuthi abantu sasibacelile ukuthi basikhangisele isikhangiso salo kuzolalela imbono yomphakathi wala eNewcastle baphuza ukuyikhipha. Yingakho ke sesila ngoba silalela nina. Iyona ke inhloso njoba uMageba osomlomo esho ukuthi akazi ukuthi sabuya ngoba nafika la uqinisile uMageba wasimukela futhi kodwa ke isizathu sengisibekile ukuthi ingani sibuya. So I think the purpose of the meeting is very clear. So we are fulfilling the rules of the legislature on the 7 days rule that we committed ourselves. So that's what it is. It doesn't mean that the views that we received on the 7th, in June, we are going to discard them. No, it doesn't mean that. Because people came and we listened to their views, we recorded them, so we are going to consider everything that was said from June up to today. That's what we are going to do. So I think I have clarified the purpose of the meeting. Njengamanje sengizocela ummeli wekomiti lezezimali ukuthi asithi qaphu ukuthi lo mthetho uquketheni lo mthetho lo ukuze masiphawula siphawule ngento esiyaziyo nesizwile ngayo. Bekade ngithi ke in another language that we are now going to invite the senior legal advisor of the Finance Portfolio Committee to give a presentation on the bill so that whenever we are making comments, we understand what the bill is containing. Immediately after finishing her presentation, we are going to invite the interpreter. I know she will present in English. I doubt her Afrikaans, I doubt her Afrikaans, Meneer de Klerk, but she will present in English, and then someone must present in isiZulu. the very same information that our legal advisor would have presented. So I think we're all clear. We are now inviting you, Madam, to make the presentation on the bill. Please don't think that I'm giving you problems. I have been requested by media to go and address them outside. I told you, are long-standing friends of mine. I think they are coming to ask me, why are you coming back on the same thing? Are you abusing the monies of the public or whatever? I don't know. Then they said they wanted the interview just now. So Honorable Zungu, in case I delay there, will continue with the process. Thank you very much. Legal advisor, you are invited on the platform, on the stage.
Thank you, Honorable Nkosi. All protocols observed. Members of the public and interested parties, Sanbonani, good morning. My name is Verna Benjamin. I'm a legal advisor at the legislature, and we're glad to be back with you today to present the KZN Gaming and Betting Tax Amendment Bill 2021. Copies of the bill are available, and I encourage you to get a copy of the bill as well as a copy of the presentation so that you can go back and apply your minds to the bill, and we would appreciate your comments on the bill. Honorable Nkosi has explained how this bill has come to be before the Finance Portfolio Committee. Just to reiterate that we consider the public involvement requirement quite seriously, hence the need for this public hearing. And the Finance Portfolio Committee, together with the legislature, must take public comments into consideration in the committee's deliberation and reporting to the House for the approval or rejection of this bill. And that's a requirement in terms of the standing rules of the KZN legislature. Just to provide a brief background on the amendment bill, it's important to understand the context to this bill. Game betting in KwaZulu-Natal is mainly regulated by two pieces of legislation which must be read together. These two pieces of legislation are the KZN Gaming and Betting Act, Act number 8 of 2010, and KZN Gaming and Betting Tax Act, Act number 9 of 2010. Just for ease of reference, I will refer to the Gaming and Betting Act as the Betting Act and the Betting Tax Act as the Tax Act, so that we can be short and sweet. In terms of understanding the relationship between these two pieces of legislation, all persons licensed in terms of the Betting Act are required to pay the tax set out in the schedule to the Tax Act. It is this particular schedule in the Tax Act, with its tax rates and distribution and allocation of taxes, that is for the better part the subject matter of this amendment bill. So this amendment bill seeks to amend the KZN Gaming and Betting Tax Act, Act number 9 of 2010. With the promulgation of an amendment to the KZN Gaming and Betting Act in 2017, it became necessary to amend and align the schedule to the Betting Tax Act, because I did mention that both these acts go hand in hand. The objects for the proposed amendments are to address historical unequal treatment of licensees and stakeholders in the horse racing and betting sectors of the gambling industry. It is also to accommodate technological advancements in the gaming sector, which has overtaken the current manual-oriented tax regime. The bill also seeks to align bingo tax with the rest of the country, as the last revision of bingo tax rates occurred about 10 years ago. The amendment is also to give effect to an equitable distribution of a portion of public funds and to create accountability mechanisms for the usage of the said funds. So the object of this bill is to amend the KZN Gaming and Betting Tax Act to amend certain tax rates, to reallocate tax revenues, to amend and include certain definitions, to provide clarity in respect of distribution of betting taxes, to include a distribution model for the transformation fund, and other ancillary amendments. There are 4 clauses in this bill. I'm going to quickly take you through clause 1 and 2, and then the better part of this presentation will focus on clause 3 of the bill. Clause 1 of the bill repeals section 5 of the Tax Act, which currently provides for the repeal, amendment, or substitution of the schedule by notice in the Provincial Gazette. Legal opinion has raised some doubt as to the validity of section 5 of the Tax Act. The argument is that the Tax Act is a money bill. Therefore, the Tax Act and its schedule may only be amended by an amendment act and not by way of a provincial notice. Hence the proposed repeal of this section in the Gaming Tax Act. Clause 2 of the bill it's technical. It's a validation provision. It provides for the validation of taxes collected or paid, as well as anything else done in terms of a provincial notice, which is provincial notice number 112 of 2012, which was issued in terms of section 5 of the Tax Act. It's important to point out that the validation clause is limited. The effect of this validation clause is that nothing done in terms of the provincial notice will be invalid merely because the schedule to the Tax Act was amended or substituted by such notice, and not in terms of a law amending or substituting the schedule. Clause 3 of the bill is the thrust of the bill, and it proposes the substitution of the schedule to the Tax Act, which schedule deals with the gaming and betting taxes as well as the tax rates. The tax rates have not been revised since 2012. Substantive amendments proposed to the schedule are as follows. 1, an increase in most tax rates. The increase includes the tax rate in the casino gaming tax, the limited payout machine gaming tax, the bingo gaming tax, and the betting tax on fixed odd bets on sporting events and other events or contingencies. Secondly, the amendment proposes the reallocation of tax revenue from horse racing. The revenue is currently paid solely to Gold Circle exclusively as the racecourse operator, contemplated in the current schedule, are in terms of the proposed amendment extended to other categories of licensed racecourse operators as well, and we'll speak further about these new categories of racecourse operators. Clause 3 also proposes amendments to the casino gaming tax rates to casino operators. If we look at the proposed amendments in a table form on the screen, it becomes a little bit easier to understand in terms of comparison with the current situation. For example, where the tax revenue does not exceed 12 million rand, the current position in terms of the tax schedule, 2012 tax schedule, is that the tax rate levied is 9.5% of gross gaming revenue. What the proposed bill intends is an increase from 9.5% of gross gaming revenue to 9.85% of gross gaming revenue. And if you look down the table, you'll find that there's increases. It's based on a sliding scale. I'm not going to go through it. There's a formula set out there on the screen, but just generally there's going to be increases. In terms of the proposed amendments to LPM, limited payout machine gaming tax, currently the tax rate levied is 15% of gross gaming revenue. And what the bill proposes is an increase to 15.25% of gross gaming revenue. In terms of the proposed amendments to bingo gaming tax, currently in terms of the 2012 tax schedule, the tax rate is 3% of gross gaming revenue. What the bill proposes is where the tax revenue does not exceed 500,000, the tax rate, proposed tax rate now is 6.5% of gross gaming revenue, and so on. It's also increased in terms of based on a sliding scale. In terms of the reallocation of tax revenue from horse racing, the following is important. The KZN Gaming and Betting Amendment Act 2017 amended the 2010 Act, Gaming Act, by pluralizing the term racecourse operator to allow for a tax distribution model to all licensed operators. So the revenues currently paid exclusively to one racecourse operator contemplated in the current schedule are, in terms of the proposed amendment, extended to other categories of licensed racecourse operators as well. The proposed amendment envisages that the distribution will therefore be extended to also benefit standardbred and harnessed horse racing operators. This funding distribution is aimed primarily at kickstarting the development of these sections or categories of the horse racing industry to bring them up to a level where they are placed in a position to stage more race meetings. Clause 3 provides that 1% will be allocated to the Transformation Fund, while also introducing the following categories of beneficiaries who will all benefit from the distribution of taxes generated by bookmakers on horse racing events, what is known as punter's tax. And this is going to be subject to certain control measures to ensure that the distributed tax is utilized for transformation purposes. The Category 1 licensed racecourse operator is the one that is currently existing, and that is the thoroughbred horse race meetings, with the proposed shared allocation of 1.6% of betting taxes. A new category is the Category 2 licensed racecourse operators, which is your harness horse race meetings, with a shared allocation of 0.2% of betting taxes. And your Category 3, which is also a new category of licensed racecourse operators, is your standardbred horse race meetings, with a proposed shared allocation of 0.2% of betting taxes. If we look at the proposed amendments to the distribution of taxes on fixed odd bets on horse racing in a table format, it becomes a little bit easier to understand. Currently, the tax rate is 6% of fixed odd bets on horse races placed with a bookmaker. And currently the beneficiaries of the 6% are the Provincial Revenue Fund and your Category 1 licensed racecourse operator for thoroughbred horse race meetings. So that 6% currently is split two ways, 3% to the Provincial Revenue Fund and 3% to your Category 1 licensed racecourse operator. What the bill proposes is that 6% will now be split in a different manner. The Provincial Revenue Fund will retain the 3% allocation or distribution. It is proposed that the Transformation Fund share in 1% of the 6%, and it is now proposed that the 3% that is allocated to the Category 1 licensed racecourse operators, which is your thoroughbred horse race meetings, will move from 3% to a proposed distribution of 1.6%. And there's a proposal now for the Category 2, that's your harness racing horse race meetings, and your Category 3 licensed racecourse operator, which is your standard bred horse race meetings, to each share 0.2%, which brings you to the total of 6%. The proposed amendments to taxes from other categories of betting, your fixed odd bets on sporting events or other events or contingencies. Currently, the tax rate levied is 6.5% of gross gaming revenue on betting transactions, and the bill proposes an increase to 6.75% of gross gaming revenue. Just with regard to the apportionment and distribution of revenue due to racecourse operators, the following should be noted. If there is more than one racecourse operator license, provision is now made for the splitting of the percentage equally amongst them. The funds comprising the distribution to the licensed racecourse operators must be used by the licensed racecourse operators as beneficiaries of the distribution, specifically for purposes of the development of horse racing and the transformation of the horse racing industry. And this is also subject to any further conditions as may be imposed from time to time by the Gaming Board. The rationale for the proposed changes is to allow for increased accountability, transparency, and enhanced monitoring of the utilization of the funding. Clause 3 also deals with the distribution to the Transformation Fund. And a new proposed insertion is that a small percentage of these taxes paid into the Provincial Revenue Fund must be distributed by Provincial Treasury to the Transformation Fund to provide an additional source of funding for the Transformation Fund, which is to ensure that the Transformation Fund is able to fulfill its stated transformation objectives. In terms of the proposed amendment, additional funding may be accessed by any licensee through the Transformation Fund for specific projects, and these projects must make a significant and positive contribution to the transformation of the gambling industry in the province. How will this operate? It will work by way of project applications. So applicants will need to apply to the Transformation Fund, which will be considered for approval by the board, the Gaming Board, in accordance with the detailed project plan that must be submitted. I'm coming almost to the end of the presentation. Lastly, the bill also amends and includes new definitions. Just going to quickly just zone in on two of these definitions. The proposed amendment inserts a definition of amount of money or money and seeks to address the free play issue beyond all doubt to ensure that going forward, potential tax revenue from the province is not lost. This is a consequence of the increased reliance on free play as a reward to attract patrons through free play offers. This provision also seeks to accommodate the latest technological developments within the gambling sector. There's also a proposed amendment of the definition of gross gaming revenue by inserting monetary value to accommodate the different gaming features as a result of technological advancements and new game types. This brings me to the end of the formal presentation. Just a few other additional issues we want to bring to your attention as the Finance Portfolio Committee. The standing rules of the KZN legislature have been amended with effect from the 26th of November 2021. We do know that some stakeholders relied on the earlier standing rules when they made submissions to the KZN legislature. We just want to assure those stakeholders that they will not be prejudiced by relying on the older standing rules. It is not necessary to submit revised representations merely because of the amendment of the standing rules. However, if any stakeholder wishes to revise any previous written representation made on the bill, they may do so no later than the 19th of August, 2022. We've increased the closing date to the 19th of August from the 1st of August to allow stakeholders who are present here additional time to make written representations. We understand that you would go back home and you'd want to consider all that has been presented to you today, as well as go through the bill itself. And we encourage you, on behalf of the Finance Portfolio Committee, to put your thoughts in writing and submit written comments to this committee. And the closing date has been extended to the 19th of August. 19 August. Address your written representations to Mr. Sipamandla Celi, and our postal address is the KwaZulu-Natal Legislature Private Bag X9112, Pietermaritzburg 3200. You may hand deliver your representations if you want to come in through to Maritzburg to the Albertina Sisulu Administration Building at 244 Langali Balele Street, Pietermaritzburg, or you can use the easiest and most convenient manner, which is you can email your written submissions to Celi at kznleg.gov.za. If I can spell it out for you, CHILI at kznleg.gov.za. If you didn't catch any of this, you can always come and see us at the end of this presentation. We've had this is the 7th public hearing on the KZN Gaming and Betting Tax Amendment Bill, and we hope that we have shed some light on the implications of this bill. Siyabonga, thank you very much.
Siyabonga kakhulu umluleki wezomthetho wesishamthetho saKwaZulu-Natal osebenza nekomiti leyimali. We are thanking the legal advisor of the legislature who is attached to the Finance Portfolio Committee for her presentation. As I indicated earlier on, we are going to invite the interpreter. Ayiguquleke lento yesilungu ayibeke ngesiZulu. Ngiyethemba ukuthi insizwa lezi kade ingena ziqhamuka eBergville ngoba ngizwile kuthiwa eBergville itaxi ifike late. Ngibona itaxi lapha asethi akusho ukuthi yona ke iBergville abaqhamuke ezintabeni ezikhalamanzi. Ngiyathemba ukuthi ibona. Sesizodela uTolika kanilahlekelwanga bafowethu nengene manje. Sizobekwa ke nangesiZulu ukuthi ubethini usisi ngalomthetho uquketheni lomthetho lo wezokugembula wona esizowulalela bese thina sibeka imbono yethu ngawo. Legal advisor our legal advisor interpreter, can you come to the front please, or you want to use your own mic? You will be more comfortable to come on the platform here.
Ngiyabonga sihlalo, ngibingelele amalungu ekomiti, ngibingelele umphakathi okhona. Ngizohumusha ke lokho bekushiwo noma ke inkulumo ebiyethulwa umeluleki wezomthetho. Lapha ke sikhuluma ngesichibiyelo somthetho osivivinya wentela yokugembula. Kushuthi ke kubeke nezigcawu ezibe khona noma izithangame ezibe khona ke ukuthi ke kuhlale ke kubanjwe kulalelwe ke izimvo zabantu. Kwathi ke umphathiswa wezimali ebona ke kunamagebe emthethweni wase ke ethatha isinqumo sokuthi ke ephakamise ke ukuthi kube nomthetho osivivinywa ozovala lezo ikhala ezibonakala zikhona emthethweni. Walidlulisela ke ekomitini lezimali ukuze ke libhungwe lolu daba. Kwase lugazethwa ke lwakhishwa kwegazethi yesifundazwe mhla ziyisikhombisa ke kuJanuwari kulo nyaka. Lokhu ke kulandela ke into esiyitshelwa umthetho sisekelo ukuthi njalo uhulumeni mefuna ukushaya umthetho akufanele abantu abashiye ngaphandle, fanele ke ahambe onke amagumbi ezwe ukuthi izimvo zabantu yithini, bese ke eshaya umthetho ohambisana nabantu noma ofunwa abantu, ngoba abantu kufanele besho ukuthi bafunani, uhulumeni bese ke enza lento eshiwo abantu. Ugembula ke KwaZulu-Natal kubuswa ke noma kulawulwa imithetho emibili, umthetho wokugembula bese kuba ke umthetho wentela yokugembula. Iwona mthetho lowo ke olawula ukugembula, iyona mthetho elawula ukugembula leyo. Kuthiwa ke bonke abantu abanama-license ngaphansi komthetho wokugembula kufanele bakhokhe intela yokugembula. Bese kuthiwa ke isichibiyelo lesi isichibiyelo lesi somthetho wokugembula khona esika 2017 esasilungisa nje ukuthi ke kwenziwe esasenzela ukuthi ke esasilungisa ukuthi umthetho lo uhambisane ke nomthetho kazwelonke. Kwabe sekubuka ke ukuthi ke zine ke izinto ke ezenze ukuthi kudingeka ukuthi ke kuchitshiyelwe lo mthetho. Izinto ke eyidinga ukuthi kuchitshiyelwe lo mthetho ilezi: ukulungiswa ke kokungaphathwa ngokulinganayo kwabantu abanama-license nalabo ababambe iqhaza kwezokugembula. Okwesibili kube ke ukuthi ke kufanele kusetshenziswe ubuchwepheshe ke besimanje manje emkhakheni wezokugembula. Okwesithathu ukwenza ke intelo yebhingo ihambisane ke nentela kazwelonke, ngoba sithiwa ke sekwagcina ukubuyekezwa kwentela yebhingo kwagcina eminyakeni ethi ayibe 10. Ngakho kuyafanele ke ukuthi ihlale ibuyekezwe ukuze izohambisana ke nomthetho kazwelonke. Bese kuba ke ukuqalisa ukwabiwa okulinganayo ke kwezimali zomphakathi. Lokhu ke okuzokwenza ukuthi ke kube lula ke indlela yokuphendula ngokusetshenziswa kwalezo imali. So ilezo zinto ke eziholela ukuthi kube ke nalesi sichibiyelo. Bese ke kuba ke sibuka ke izinhloso zesichibiyelo ke salomthetho osivivinyo. Uhlose ke ukuchibiyela amanani ezintela ezithile. Wabe kabusha izintela zemali ingeniso. Uchibiyele futhi ke wenze izincazelo ezithile. Ucacise mayelana nokuhlukaniswa ke kwezintela zokubheja. Uhlanganisa indlela yokwehlukanisa yesikhwama senguquko i-transformation fund, futhi weseke izichibiyelo eziyokwenziwa ngokuhamba kwesikhathi. Uma ke sibuka ke isigatshana sokuqala ke sichitha ke isigaba sesihlanu ke somthetho ke oyinhloko lo esikhulume ngawo sathi ke umthetho ke wokugembula KwaZulu-Natal. Lo mthetho ke umthetho uhlinzeka ukuchithwa, ukuchitshiyelwa kanye ke nokushintshwa kweshedule ngesaziso ke esifakwa kwigazethi yesifundazwe. Izimvo ezivele kwabezomthetho ziveze ukukhathazeka mayelana nokusebenza kwesigaba 5 kwesigaba sesihlanu lesi ke esesibuka ukuthi sichithwe njengamanje. Impikiswano ke ibe sekutheni umthetho oyinhloko ungumthetho osivivinyo wezimali. Ngakho ke umthetho wezimali kanye neshedule yawo kungachitshiyelwa kuphela ngomthetho osichibiyelo, hayi ngesaziso kwigazethi yesifundazwe. Ingakho ke kungazi ukuthi ke kufanele ke kube nezinguquko ezenziwayo lapho. Sibuke ke isigaba sesibili sihlongoza ke ukuthi ke ishintshwe ishedule yomthetho oyinhloko obhekela ke izintela namanani ke ezintela zokugembula nokubheja. Amanani ezintela nokugembula, amanani ezintela selokhu agcina ukubuyekezwa ngonyaka ke ka 2012. So kuhlongozwa ke ukuthi ke kuchitshiyelwe ishedule kuze ke kukwazi ukuthi ke kubuyekezwe ke lezo intela lezo. Nazi ke izinto ke eyibheke ukuthi ichitshiyelwe ukwenyuswa kwamanani ey'ntela ey'ningana ezahlukahlukene. Lokhu kwenyuswa kuhlanganisa ke ukwenyuka kwentela ke kwamanani entela yokugembula ekhasino, intela yokugembula ke ngomshini we-limited payout, intela yokugembula ngebingo kanye nentela ke yokubhejela ke eminye ke imidlalo. Bese kuba ke ukwabiwa kabusha kwentela etholakala emjahweni yamahhashi. Imali ekhokhwa kwi-gold circle engabaphathi bomjaho kuyishedule yamanje. Ngokwesichibiyelo esihlongozwayo sihlongoza ukuthi ke le mali yabiwe kubona bonke abaphathi bemjaho abanamalayisensi. Kusho ukuthi ke akusezukuthathwa yonke imali ijikijelwe ku-gold circle, kodwa ke abanamalayisensi abanye nabo sebezothola ke i-share. Ikhona ke Siphamandla ngizocela ungivezela ithebula elichazayo ukuthi ke imali ke izokwabiwa kanjani. Kuyashiwo ke lapho ukuthi ke imali uma ingadluli ke ku-12 million noma ke ku-12 million ngokwe schedule le ekhona manje eka 2012 imali ebibanjwa eyintela beku 9.5, kodwa ngokwe sichibiyelo lesi esihlongozwayo kubukwa ukuthi ke kubanjwe u9.85 ukwenzela ukuthi ke sithi ukwenyusa kancane, kodwa ke bathi mingaphezulu ke kwa12 million kodwa ingedluli 30 million imali ebanjwayo ke lapho kuba u1,140,000 bese kuba ke amaphesenti nje ayi11 ke kwemali le okudlule ngayo ku12 million. Iyaqhubeka ke ithebula ke likuvezeke amathebula nje angazi ke ayayichaza amathebula, so ngizocela siwadlule bese siya lapha ke esigabeni sesithathu naso ke sikhuluma ngokwabiwa kabusha ke kwemali etholakele. Sibuka ukuthi ke isichibiyelo somthetho sivivinya okugembula ke ka2017 isigaba ke samashumi ayisishiyagalombili nesishiyagalolunye sasichibiyela ke umthetho ke ka2010 ngokwenza inkulumo ethi abaphathi bemjaho, lapho kwakuthiwa isichibiyelo ishedule ka2012 yayithi umphathi womjaho. Lokho ke kwenza kusebenzisa ubunye ngoba ke kwakubukwa inkampani Gold Circle kuphela. Manje kuchitshiyelwa lokho ke kwenziwa ke ukuthi kufakwe nabanye abaphathi bemjaho banamalayisensi. Sekuthiwa ke inkulumo ayishintshe ithi abaphathi bemjaho, so sebeyabhekwa nabanye. Bese ke ithi ke imali ngeniso ekhokhwa kuphela kumphathi womjaho yedwa ngokweshedule yamanje, uma kuvunyelwana nalesi sichibiyelo izokwabiwa ke kubona bonke ke abaphathi bemjaho. Lokhu ke okuhlongozwayo isichibiyelo lesi sihlosa ukuthi inzuzo itholwe nangabaphathi bemjaho bendabuko, abaphathi bemjaho ke abenza ke o standard bread no harness horse racing. Bese ke siqhubeka naso ke isigaba ke sesithathu esikhuluma ngokwabiwa ke kwentela imali etholakala emjahweni yamahhashi. Siqhubeka ke sikhulume sithi ke iphesenti elilodwa lizofakwa ke esikhwameni sezinguquko, isikhwama sezinguquko i-transformation fund. Kanti ngesikhathi esifanayo siphinde futhi ke sakhe ama-category abemathathu ashoyo ukuthi ke laba bazothola iphesenti elingakanani, laba bazothola iphesenti elingakanani, laba bazothola iphesenti elingakanani, kodwa iphesenti elilodwa seliyile kwi-transformation fund. Ama-category ke ami kanje: ucategory 1 wabaphathi bemjaho yamahhashi, i-thoroughbred horse race meetings, yona ke izohlomula ke ngo-1.6% weyintela zokubheja. Bese kuba ke icategory yesibili wabaphathi bemjaho abanamalayisensi, harness horse racing, bazothola bona ke u-0.2% weyintela ke zokubheja. Bese siya ke ku category 3. Category 3 wabaphathi bemjaho yamahashi i-standard bred horse race meetings bazothola ke nabo ke u-0.2% weintela zokubheja. Ithebula ke lilandelayo seliyayichaza ukuthi ke u6% lo uzokwabiwa kanjani. Ngizocela ukuthi ke sidlule ngoba ngicanga ukuthi kucacile ngoba into esiyiphethe futhi esinayo. Bese siqhubeka futhi ke sibuka ke ukuthi ke ukwabiwa ke nokuhlukaniswa kwezimali sabuka sona isigaba sesithathu. Sithi ke uma kunabaphathi bemjaho, uma kunabaphathi bemjaho njengamanje njengoba kusakhulunywa ngoyedwa, uma kusehoyedwa imali izoya kuyena kodwa makuvunyelwana izohlukaniswa kwabanye bese kuthiwa ke imali ezabelwe abaphathi bemjaho bemjaho yamahashi abanama license njengabantu abahlomulayo kufanele isetshenziswe ukuthuthukisa imjaho yamahashi nokuletha inguquko embonini yamahashi. Lezi inguquko ke zihlose ukwandisa ke ukuphendula ukuthi abantu bakwazi ukukhuluma ngendlela ke imali esebenze ngayo, ukwethembeka kanye nokuqashwa ke kokusetshenziswa kwezimali. Siqhubeka futhi isigaba ke sesithathu kodwa ke sesibuka manje isikhwama seyinguquko, i-transformation fund. Okunye ke okusho kuhlongozwayo ukuthi ke kwenziwe ke isikhwama lesi seyinguquko kuyothi ke imali eyotholakala okufanele ke isiwe ke esikhwameni seyinguquko kufanele isiwe kumgcini mafa wesifundazwe bese kuba uyena ke oyihambisa ke eyise lapha ke esikhwameni seyinguquko ngokwesigaba ke sekhulu namashumi amathathu nesikhombisa ke somthetho wokugembula nokubheja ka-2010. Ukuqinisekisa ukuthi isikhwama seyinguquko ke siyakwazi ke ukufeza ke inhloso esakhelwe zona. Bese ke kuthiwa uma kuvunyelwana nalesi sichibiyelo noma ubani onentshisekelo noma onesifiso sokuthi ke abe nomklamo noma ama projects athinta ke intuthuko ke embonini ke ezamahashi uyakwazi ukuthi ayofaka isicelo lapha kwi-body bese ke noma ke kwi-transformation fund acele ke ukuthi ke asho ukuthi ufuna isamba esingakanani, iziphi intuthuko, iziphi inhlelo zentuthuko nazo bese ke i-body liyadingida ke libone ukuthi ke iziphi izicelo eziphasayo, iziphi izicelo ezifeyilayo bese ke lo phasayo bemgixa beza ke ngezizumbulu lezo ke ezisuke ezifanele. Ekugcineni ke bese ke sichaza nje amagama ukuthi ke isikhwama senguquko sisho ukuthini. Ngicabanga ukuthi ke kufanele ke sigcile kakhulu kulokho bese ke sibuka lapha ke ekugcineni ke uma sesiyiphethe nje niyacelwa ke bakwethu ukuthi ke nenze izethulo zenu niyanqenqa ukuthi nenze izethulo ke ezibhaliwe ukuze ke mhlambe omunye umuntu uyaye ethinta umeyizwa manje adinga isikhathi sokuthi ayihlaziye bese ke ethi mase etshise kahle bese ke mhlambe kuba khona akubhalayo ukuthi ke akwazi ukuthi naye asho ukuthi uvo lwakhe lithini. Kuyacelwa ukuthi ke uma nifisa ukwenza kanjalo ningathumela ke i-email sipha ngizocela ke uveze imininingwane nayo imininingwane iyavela lapha ke sithumela ke i-email kuchili@kznlegislature kznlegislature.gov.za noma ke sibhalele lapha ke KwaZulu-Natal Legislature Private Bag X9112 Pietermaritzburg 3200 noma ke sithathe ke siyoyishiya khona ke emahhovisi esishamthetho lapha ke ku 244 Langelebalele Street Pietermaritzburg 3200. Isikhathi ke sokufaka izimvo seseluliwe ke njengoba bekuvala ngomhla olunye kuNcwaba seseluliwe ke manje ke siya lapha ke emhla ziyishumi kuye uNcwaba. Niyocelakala ke ukuthi ke izimvo zenu uma nifisa ukuyifaka zibhaliwe nenze ngaleyo ndlela. Yebo.
Thank you very much to the interpreter. We have now come to the climax of this meeting. As we are in the climax of the meeting, we are going to run this in 2 phases. There are stakeholders who requested us to give them specific times, and there are 3 of them. They requested 10 minutes each. That's what we are going to do. The second part is for us who are present here, so that you are indicating your views on the bill. That's what will be happening. I will outline the procedure that we are going to follow when we are coming to those who did not make appointments. On the appointments part, we agreed with them that they are going to spend 10 minutes each. That's what we agreed upon. I am hoping that there is no repetition of what has been presented, because it doesn't serve any purpose. If you noticed, when the legal advisor was giving her input, we were noting them in our books. That's what we're doing for our own records. But over and above that, everyone who is speaking, including myself, is recorded there. When we are not sure what was said about a particular thing, we are going to go to the records. That's what we are going to do. So for us to repeat something that has been said and whatever, it won't be serving any purpose as far as I'm concerned, except that we are just wasting our time because things have been done. When we come to the stakeholders that are present here, hey, there's something that we learned from 2 last hearings in Uku district. People from Royal Horse Racing, that's what I discovered. They are organized into local forums, district forums. They decided to allow one person to speak the position of that organization. Only one person spoke out of close to 15 people who came there, because it doesn't help anybody to repeat what has been said, because it's captured already. So that's what we have noticed. The final one was in Herikwale in Umzimkhulu. More than 20 people pitched up there from Royal Horse Racing. Only 2 people spoke. Is the one for Umzimkhulu local and the one for Uku. They told us that they had prepared themselves in this format. They went through the bill as a local, and then they convened the district meeting and took decisions. That person who was speaking on behalf of the district was the one who carried the specifics. The one from Umzimkhulu local municipality forum indicated that no, we're part of the district meeting. What the district has said, we're confirming it, and he sat down and we continued. Because if he repeated what the district has said, I would not understand. Yeah, there was bad thing about me in my previous life. For 25 years, I was a teacher, and an English teacher for that matter. When you are writing a composition or an essay in my history, when you are repeating the point, I will just put 2 red lines and write in between repetition. That's what I will do. That's how teachers assess the work of the students. Because already it is there. What is the point of saying it again? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. Njenganje ichaza ukuthi sesifike kuvuthondaba la sizozwa khona abafowethu nowethu abathintwa yilomthetho. Ngathi ukhona abakhulume nathi ngaphambi komhlangano namuhla. Bathathu laba bantu bacela nje imizuzu ithu umuntu ngamunye namunye ukuthi babeke indaba yabo. Njoba besibafumela phambilini sizokwenza lokho. Emva kwalokho sizobe sesithina-ke sikhona lapha and allow people to say what they want to say. Sakuzelela lo ukuphinda into esishiwo verse siyayibhala futhi iyarekhodwa laphana asiqondi ukuthi kwenzekalani ngoba verse sekukhona asikho isidingo. Sase sithike-ke ngalesikhathi esiyokwenza izithangami zokugcina ugu district kanye naseHerigwala safike sahlangana ukuthi ama-stakeholders akhona lapho ahlangana wonke ogwini athula acwaninga umthetho la asebeka iziphakamiso base bethu unobhala we-district uzoyithula lezo ziphakamiso babe balelwa la eshumini kuyaphezulu labo bantu abelapho elokho kwakhuluma umuntu oyedwa laba abanye babesho ukuthi verse siyixoxile ngoba ukuyiphinda into uphinde uyiphinde nokuyiphinda ang-understand angaze noma-ke kwabanye bakholelwa kwesiZulu kuthiwa imitha ngokuphinda asazi wena asalusa phela thina yikho nje sazi zonke ezuzini so into enjengaleyo sathi-ke sase siya eHerigwala emzimkhulu kwafika abantu ababalelwa ngaphezu amashumi amabili. Laba bantu laba kwakhuluma ababili kuphela. Kwakhuluma we-district washo ukuthi sihlangene thina la eHerigwala. Nazi iy'nqumo esivumelene ngazo ngalomthetho. Njengoba sekwenzeke njalo elokhu-ke nathi sesiyayithula into esivumelene ngazo. Kwase kuthi isandla sesibili waqhamuka lo mfowethu wathi hayi mina ngiqhamuke emzimkhulu forum. Ngifuna ukugcizelela into eyodwa nje ukuthi lokho okushiwo i-district ngempela kwenzeka wahlala phansi. Yingakho sathatha esincane kabi isikhathi emzimkhulu ngoba abantu bakhona bayihlelile ngoba sesitholile kuthiwa kulama district awu-12 KwaZulu-Natal i-Royal Horse Racing i-organized along those lines. So-ke lokho yingakho ngase ngiyabuka ukuthi yingakho sisesikhawini ekhingcetshwayo kwakhuluma abantu ababili kuphela. Bangachaza ukuthi bayihlele kanjani babeka nje bona ukuthi kanjani baba u2 kuphela. Sengasola ukuthi kwakhona we-local kanye nowe-district. Kusiza-ke kongesikhathi ngoba vese ukuphinda into esishiwo vese sesinayo la ohlwini lethu. Hayi njengamanje-ke sizoqala-ke ngalaba abekade behlelile abathathu nje kuphela. The first one is Simanga Khumalo. Simanga Khumalo is a jockey who has won the biggest race in Africa on 2 occasions. That man, that jockey, won the 2022 July. I still call it July. Angibizo July handicap. Uyiwinile futhi okwesibili umfoka Mtungwa. Utheke nje uzocela ukuthi naye abeke olwakhe ufo. Sizomnika-ke uMtungwa imizuzu eyi10. Uma ekhona ngizomcela eze la, uma engekho connected virtually uzokhuluma. Uzobe selandelwa umfowethu okuthiwa uSiphe Sihle Hlengwa. Naye uhlelile futhi uMashasha 10 minutes esimnike wona. Kutheke nje manje nje nibonile unobhala wekomiti lezimali eza kimi la. Ubezongitshela ukuthi sekunowesithathu omunye ofonile ukuthi cha naye ucela ukuthi akhulume kule thimba lalaba ababili sengibabalile. Lowo ke umfowethu uCole Deacon kanjalo nje. Naye futhi is allocated 10 minutes. So that's what will happen. Abanye bazobuza baba uNkosi, kade benibanika isikhathi esingakanani ngaphambilini? Besibanika imizuzu engama-30. Sithi uKhumalo uzokhuluma M15 bese kuthi uHlengo akhulume u15. Kodwa bathi engathi bakhona ukuhlobana indlela athile ngoba kuthema sekungena lo wesithathu bathi nizokwehlisa ezikhathini zalabo ababili bese kuba u10 minutes 10 minutes. That's how the program is. I'm explaining it deliberately to the honorable members because we received the information yesterday that the two people have made arrangements for 15 minutes each. So that's what we wanted to do. Hayi-ke siyamcela umfowethu uSimanga Khumalo ukuthi akhulume. Uzokhuluma ulimi elilodwa nje Mtungu, uma ukhetha ukukhuluma isilungu, usikhulume leso silungu sakho. Ukhona uTolika wethu ozobe sekuguqulela lokho esiZulwini. Mawukhuluma isiZulu, ukhona uTolika wethu ozokuguqulela esilungwini lokho ozokusho. Siyashoka mfowethu Khumalo, siyikomiti lezezimali lesishayamthetho sonke sakwaZulu-Natal ukuthi siyakubongela kakhulu ukuthi uphinde wawina kulamasonto ambalwa adlule. What I was saying, I said, I don't know whether Khumalo is here or not, but I am sending the message on behalf of the Committee of Finance, as well as the legislature of KwaZulu-Natal, congratulating him for winning the race for 2022. Umzilikazi kaMashobane. Mtungu, ngena Mtungu, angangimazi. Angubukanga nomjaho bafowethu angile nami ngiyosebenza into zabantu. Mtungwa, your 10 minutes.
Thank you so much.
Usimanga siphaye akakhuluma mfowethu.
Thank you so much. Good day, honorable the finance portfolio committees. My name is Manga Khumalo. I'm a professional thoroughbred race jockey. I made history in 2013 by becoming the first black jockey to win the Durban July. I'm proud to say that I have won the prestigious Durban July for the second time. I've been challenger for South Africa, and obviously I was listed in the latest best jockey ranking. None of these achievements on racetrack have been possible if I haven't been at the Jockey Academy. So let me tell my story. I'm one of 5 children. I was born in King Edward, Durban. My mother was a domestic worker. Just to escape the violence in the early 90s. So as a small boy, you know, I couldn't fight any battles, and obviously I just tried my best to stay out of trouble and focus my way to school. And obviously, I was very lucky where a gentleman who was sent by the academy to try and look for talent in school, where I was school at high, and obviously they were looking for potential job. And I didn't know what it was. I was only 15, and I think once Mr. Swisi came in, he said, "You look like you could fit the profile of becoming a jockey." And I said, "What's a jockey?" And so what the jockey is, and obviously after I did a bit of digging about what is racing about, and from then onwards I started following racing, and I saw there was a gentleman called Gift Funega, who was riding his first ride as a black jockey at 11 July, and I was now interested because I knew Gift, he comes from Guamashu. Obviously, from there I just took loving of the industry. The industry took me in 2000, and when I joined the academy in Summerveld, I think it was a tough 5 years, but I managed to pull through. I managed to to just do the best I could as an apprentice, and once I turned to be a professional jockey in 2006. And I think in 1 year I became one of the 20 top jockeys, obviously riding horses about in a month to I think about 80 to 90 horses a month, and we race almost every day. And obviously I had based in Gauteng, and I had a lot of support of Mr. Led and Mr. Terry and Mr. Mike de Kock. And I think I thought my life was getting a lot better, and then I was just surprised by winning my first Vodacom 11 July, which was in 2013, and from then onwards, it was just amazing. Where being my first time riding in the Vodacom 11 July, where there was over 50,000 people. And just to win that race and come back and see all these people that were so happy for me, and I think at that time we were going through such a tragic moment where Mr. Mandela was in hospital, and I didn't mention to obviously to the media that I really dedicated that win to Tata Matiba. Obviously, that day I will never forget that day. And I've just been fortunate enough to be so lucky again to win this prestige race again this year in 2022. And it was just amazing, where I felt that I could have opened I've opened a bit of doors for the young up and coming black riders. Obviously lacking of Spesise and Cole. And obviously, there's more guys that are looking up to me. So I can't stall, and I need to put my best foot forward. And obviously, you look at it and think, 20 years ago I was at the academy, and training to become a professional jockey, and then now here I am. Obviously asking for just to you guys, if you can try and help. We know I know that Gold Circle is a huge financial supporter of the academy and many other stakeholders and industries in KZN. Gold Circle uses the money that received from the taxes and obviously on winning punters and fixed odds bets to support the stakeholders in the industry, and including the rural racing. Go to any track and see the member of black race goers, jockeys, grooms, and employees, small business owners. This is where obviously the transformation and development is actually happening. Thoroughbred racing industry is now in my blood, and I can't imagine doing anything else. And if the money Gold Circle receives from tax and winning punters and fixed odds dries up, it will have to cut the expenses. And if Gold Circle has to cut the expenses, then the academy and so many other stakeholders and shareholders in KZN will suffer. The grooms, the trainers, the breeders, and others, which leads to fewer racing and fewer viewers of this quality horse racing. Less opportunity for me to do what I love. And, you know, this is now us asking, obviously, the members of the finance and the committees to just look it up. And this is what I love. And I feel my brothers here on my side, they also have the same feeling about horse racing, and we just wish that you know, things will just we can just grow and help one another. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Akustolikele nakho kade kukhulunywa umzilikazi kaMashobana. Thank you very much, Simanga Khumalo. Your presentation was very clear. Although there were some minor glitches there, but we were able to hear the whole of it. Thank you very much. I want to confirm to you, a number of presenters have been mentioning your name and all the stuff. I remember that, and it's in the records. Thank you very much, Mzilikazi. Khumalo mkhulu, Mtungwa. Mtoliga.
Ngiyabingelela sihlalo, igama lami nguSimanga Khumalo, oJoki ke oqeqeshiwe wasizwa ke iyona ke iGold Circle. Ngiyayiqhenya kakhulu ke ngokuthi ke ngiwine ke iDurban July kungekhona ukuqala, kodwa bengeke kwenzeke ke lokhu ngaphandle ke koxhaso ke lweGold Circle. Kwafika ke umlisa ke sithwele kanzima ekhaya, wafika ke ukwazi ukukhethwa ke ngokwamakhono ke esikoleni, lapho ke ngaqokwa nami ke ngafakwa ke eqenjini ngaqeqeshwa. Base kuthi ke emva kwesikhathi nje ngiqeqeshwa ngayithola ke sengingenela ke umjaho ke iDurban July. Kwakunzima ke umuntu esaqeqeshwa, kodwa ke ngafaka ikhanda phansi, ngasebenza kanzima njengoba ke umuntu esela. Ngafika ke ngo-2006 ngangisezingeni ke lapho ke esasi lo jockey ke abamashumi amabili ke abavelele ke lapho ke umuntu wayesebenza kanzima ke engenela umjaho ke zonke izinsuku, kwaze kwafika ke unyaka ka-2013 la engawina ke umjaho wokuqala ke engawina okokuqala ke iDurban Vodacom July. Kwangithokozisa kakhulu ke lokhu. Ngaze ngabona ke no tata ke uMadiba, ngajatshuliswa na ukuthi ke kunabantu ke ababengeseka ke sengiphuma ke ngiqeda umjaho, sengiphuma ngibabona labantu ke ngathola nethuba lokuhlangana noTata uMadiba. Kodwa ke angibatshelanga beindaba ukuthi ke lo mjaho ke ngangiwuqondise ke kuye ke uTata uMadiba. Uma ubuka uhambo lwami ke lube nzima, kodwa ke manje sengicela ke ukuthi ke uGold Circle siweseke singawuphuci ke intela leke ngoba ke kuzolimaza lokhu ke ojoki abagada amahashi ke nabo bonke ke abantu abasemkhakheni ke wezamahashi. Angazi ke ukuthi ngabe ngiyini kube kwakungekhona ke okwentela ke le esetshenziswa ke uGold Circle ukuxhasa ke abantu ke abadla ke imbuya ngothi, ngoba ke lokhu ke kwanginika ithuba lokuthi ke ngenze into engiyithandayo. Ngicela ke amalungu ekomiti ke ukuthi ke alibheke kahle lolu daba, azwelane noGold Circle, bese ke siyasizana ke ukuthi ke sikhule sibambene. Ngiyabonga sihlalo.
Well summarized. We are now inviting Sipesi Hlehlengwa to give us his input on the bill. Mashasha.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good morning to honorable members of Financial Portfolio Committee and members of the public. My name is Sipesihle Hlengwa. I come from Umlazi and I'm a third year apprentice jockey at the South African Jockey Academy. I started my apprenticeship in January 2020. Prior to arriving at the academy, I had no riding or horsemanship experience. Being accepted at the academy felt like I had the opportunity to escape the crime in Umlazi. My first encounter with horses was during my first year apprenticeship, where after 8 months, I started riding at Ashburton track for trainers Mr. Duncan Hulls and Mr. Com Knight. A year later, I rode my first race ride at Scottville Racecourse aboard Iron Chef, trained by Mr. Gard Puller. Only 5 months later, I won my first race and double on the same day, both trained by Mr. Gard Puller, which was etiquette and blue sails. I won a second double only 3 months apart, and I'm currently on 8 winners now. I have currently ridden 117 rides. Being at the academy has taught me to be independent and more confident. After being referred to the academy by my teacher, I was very happy to swap my passion for fast cars to fast horses. In addition to my riding achievements, I also managed to achieve academical. I am proud to say that I achieved the highest marks in grade 11 and went on to achieving DAX in my matric year, which was last year. I achieved 2 distinctions in my final exam with a bachelor pass also. I continue to strive for excellence in all areas of my life. Being a jockey takes a lot of commitment and a lot of discipline, but I would not trade this opportunity for anything in the world. It is for this reason that I oppose the introduction of the new bill, in particular because it reduced the 3% contribution paid to Gold Circle. I know that this 3% is such an important issue to the academy. Gold Circle subsidized the fee of apprentice jockey by over 1.5 million in 2021 financially year, and Gold Circle has continued to support the academy even though it has also been struggling with the effect of COVID-19 and the dismiss of Melela in Gauteng. Gold Circle also pays winning fees to jockeys who win races, and I have benefited from this. If the 3% contribution paid to Gold Circle is withdrawn, even in part, then Gold Circle will definitely cut its expenses in to survive. The first place is likely to cut expenses when it is providing free subsidization to benefit such as the academy. Without Gold Circle contribution, the academy might close the doors. Where will that leave me and the other apprentices and my promising career in horse racing? I am a KZN boy, and so I would like to stay in KZN. But if there is less races in KZN, I would have to move to another province or even overseas to continue my career. There are many other apprentices in the same position as me. I am inspired by Smanga Kumalo, who also just addressed the committee today. I hope that I too may rise through the ranks and win grade 1s races and hope to be champion apprentice and jockey. My ambition in life is to be a better rider so that I may continue to support my family and ensure that they live a better life. I am considered that if the bill becomes law, my ambition in life will be dashed, and I don't know what I will do. Please, will the committee consider withdrawing the bill so that people like me can have a chance at a better life, doing something that we love? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mashasha. Colleagues would want you to know that we have been assured that the inputs by Kumalo and Hlengwa shall be sent to the committee. Yeah, no, they have the email address of Mr. Kili, then we are going to receive them. Ngithike bafowethu nodadewethu, izethulo zalabo joka ababili sesizitholile-ke bathe bazoyithumela kunobhala wekomiti ukuze sikwazi ukuyibona uma kwenzeka khona into esingayizwanga kahle hle kuma-recording. Kodwa-ke mina ngiyisummarizile. Khona ngesikhathi lasafundisa, uma ufundisa isilungu, khona into ayibizwa kuthiwa yi-press writing, ukubhalwa kwesummary, ukuthi uyisummarize kanjani. Ekuthiwa nje bhala into enamagama awu-500, kuthiwa kufanele uyibhale in only 30 words, summarize in 30 words. Umyalezo ube njalo, angifundisa leyo nto-ke.
Ngiyabingelela umalungu, igama lami nguSiphesihle olapha ke kwi Jockey Academy. Ngingene ku Jockey Academy ngoJanuwari ka 2020. Ngangakaze ke ngaphambilini ngangaze ngigibela ihashi, kodwa ke ukufunda lokhu kwanginika ke ithuba ke lokuthi ke nami ke ngihlale emhlane wehashi. Kwaphinde kwangikhipha ke nasebugebengwini ngoba ke lapha ke eMlazi ke kunobugebengu kakhulu. So ngaqala ukugibela ihashi ke lapha ke Ashburton. Kwathi ke emva konyaka ke ngawina ke umjaho wokuqala ke ngaphinda ke emva kwenyanga ezintathu ngaphinde ke ngadla ke omunye futhi ke umhlanganiso. Kwangijabulisa kakhulu ke lokhu ke ukushintsha ke into ke engiyithanda kakhulu ke imoto ke ezigijimayo ukuthi ke ngijikele ke ngingene ke emahashini ke nawo ke agijimayo. Lokhu ke kuyibandakanya ke emkhakheni wezamahashi kungisize kakhulu ke nasesikoleni. Nasesikoleni ke ngiphase ngamalengiso ke kumatikuletsheni. Ukuba ujockey ke kudinga ukuthi umuntu asebenze kanzima. Ngo-2021 i-Gold Circle yeseka ke i-Academy ngo-21 million. Lokhu ke kwenza ukuthi ke izinto kuthina ke ngojockey ke abasafunda nabasafufusa kwenza ukuthi ke sisizakale kakhulu. Uma ehliswa imali ke enikezwa ke i-Gold Circle kuzosithwalisa kanzima lokhu futhi kungenza ke nekusasa lami ke kwezamahashi lifiphale noma ke futhi ngadingeka ukuthi ke ngisishiye lesi sifundazwe ke sakithi ke ngiye kwesinye noma ke ngiye phesheya. Ngiyafisa ke ukuthi ke ngibe ujockey owenza kahle ukuze ke ngeseke umndeni wami noma nginikeze umndeni wami ke impilo engcono. Ngiyacela ke ngayoxisi imali ke Gold Circle ukuze Thank you
very much, interpreter. Before moving to the last one, I have been in the show of the KZN Gaming and Betting Board that we have been joined by Nyatango, who is a member of the KZN Gaming and Betting Board. Abamela abahleli lapho balelela mangala kodwa bekhuluma ngomthetho kuphela inqopha-chopho. Wathi bengikusho ukuthi sengitshelwe isikhulu esiphezulu board lokudembula KwaZulu-Natal likahulumeni ukuthi sekufike ummeli omkhulu wasemajajini, advocate, ummeli omkhulu wasemajajini, uKhanya wakathango, okuthiwa uyimember yale board le. Sengiyabeka-ke bafowethu abameli abahleli lapha, i-provincial treasurer has got its own legal mind, the board has got its own legal minds, and then also at the bureaucracy level of the board, there are also legal minds that are there. Akusho sosha umthetho wangempela ucwaningwa ongqondo bezomthetho. Siyabonga Advocate Tango for joining us as a member of the board. So we are now handing over to the last arranged presentation, which will come from Cole Deacon. Can you come in, my brother?
Good morning, honorable members of the Finance Portfolio Committee and members of the public. My name is Cole Deacon. I am a first-year apprentice at the South African Jockey Academy. I started my apprenticeship in January 2018. I was first introduced to the sport of thoroughbred racing by jockey Anthony Delpesh. And without any previous riding experience, I embraced the competitiveness of the sport. 7 months after my first encounter with a horse, I rode track work for the trainers at Ashburton. And in the July of the following year, I rode my very first race at Scottsville Racecourse aboard Majestic Mary for trainer Tony Rebel. I was lucky enough to be selected to attend the International Apprentice course at the British Racing School in Newmarket during 2019, where I achieved the highest fitness levels compared to the other international apprentices. This was a very amazing achievement for me, and I learned a lot during my time there. I have also spent time at the Gauteng Jockey Academy, where I accumulated most of my winners, but I opted to return to KZN in 2021 in hopes to attract more support and race rides as I near my target of 60 winners. So far, I am proud to say that I have had 57 wins and 241 places in thoroughbred races. I could never have imagined qualifying as a professional jockey. The opportunity to train as an apprentice jockey has opened many career opportunities to me that would have never been an option before. The academy has been home away from home for the past 5 years for me, and it has equipped me with the skills and experience to be successful in the sport of horse racing, both locally and abroad. The amendment of the KZN gaming and betting tax to reduce the 3% tax paid to Gold Circle is something that is very concerning for the industry in KZN. This is because the Academy relies on the financial and operational support that is receives from Gold Circle to fund opportunities for people like me. I am just starting out in this industry and I've developed a passion for it. I implore the committee to leave the industry alone to transform organically. That is happening and has been happening for a long time. Most of my fellow apprentices are Black. Most of the people who earn a living from the industry are Black. I realize that people outside the industry look at racehorse owners who are predominantly white and think that they are the ones making all the money. That is never the case in thoroughbred horse racing. The vast majority of racehorse owners lose from racing horses. They only do it because they are passionate about the sports and game, just like me, just like Smanga Kumalo, just like Sipesihle Shengwa. Thank you for listening to my story and my concerns. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cole. Your presentation was very clear, and I hope you are going to do as it was promised by Smanga and Sipesihle, that you are going to make sure that your presentation finds our own finance portfolio committee. Toliga, awukungena into eshiwo umfowethu la uCole.
Ngiyabingelela sihlalo namalungu ahloniphekile. Igama lami nguCole Deacon olapha ke kwi-African Jockey Academy. Ngangena kuyona ngo-2018. Ngakujabulela kakhulu ke ukuyibandakanya ke nalesi sikhungo. Ngemva kokungena ke ngathenga ke elami ihashi ke ngaliphosa lapha ke Scottsville, hayi lafike la lenza kahle kakhulu. Ngachitha ke ngabuya lapho ke ngayochitha ke isikhathi ke Gauteng Jockey Academy. Excuse me. Nakhona ke ngathola ke ulwazi olunzulu, kodwa ke kwaba isifiso sami ukuthi ngibuyele ke ngize ke KwaZulu-Natal. Ngangakaze ke ngize ngiyiphuphe ke ngiwujockey, kodwa ke lokhu ke sekungivulele ke amathuba amaningi empilweni yami. Kuyaphazamisa ke nokho ukuzwa ukuthi ke kuzokwehliswa ke imali ke ye-gold etholwa ke i-gold circle. Ngiyazifikela kulomkhakha. Ngicela ikomiti ke lihlukane phansi nalomkhakha uzikhulele wona. Abantu ke engisebenza nabo bamnyama, iningi labo. Futhi ke akusilona iqiniso ukuthi ke abantu abamhlophe benza ke izumbulu kulomkhakha. Kahle kahle ke abantu abamhlophe ke balahlekelwa zimali kulomkhakha. Kodwa ke abantu abafana noSimanga noSiphe ibona ke abasizakalayo la. Ngiyabonga sihlalo.
When you see Honorable de Klerk leaves, please don't think that is undermining you. He reported his problem and we discussed and we agreed that when the time is right for him to leave, he will leave. So that's what I should have indicated that to the when we are dealing with the apologies. Now we're coming to the meeting here. I will start this side so that there is no confusion. I will ask for hands this side. Then if you want to speak, your hand will come up like this. I think she now got 25 years. Kwakune order eklasini lami. Kwakune order enzima kabi kabi. Awungeke nje ukugcwaneke kwelami iclass. Phamsi isandla ozofisa ukukhuluma ngizomnikeza inombolo. Mangabe sengimnikela inombolo ngizobe sengimcela ukuthi akhulume. Ma eqeda ukukhuluma ngizocela uTolika akuphendulele kulimi lolo angalukhulumanga lobe kade ekhuluma. Emva kwalokho ngizobe senginxusa. Ngisho ngabomu into yenzeka ogwini kanye naseHerigwana. Ngoba vese ukuphinda into eyodwa hayi angiqondi mina. Kodwa benga understand mina ngisho ukuthi uthisha ngaba uthisha omkhulu ophethe izikole esikhulu kunazo zonke eSouth Africa iJJ Zuma School. Benga understand nje into mangayi understand. Kodwa isikhathi esiningi bengihlala ngisesayidini eliright. Isikhathi esiningi lokho ke lokho bizokucela ukuthi ukuphinda phinda bafowethu ngeke kusisize ngalutho. What I was saying in isiZulu is that now I'm coming to the hall. I will start on my right hand side, and whoever wants to speak will raise his hand or her hand. Thereafter, I will allocate numbers to speak. per person whose hand was up. And thereafter, when I will call upon the first one to speak up to the last hand, immediately after the speaker has spoken, I am going to invite the interpreter to say it in the language that the speaker did not say, so that we all understand. Then I have emphasized what I saw in Ugu and Herigala. Saving time, avoid repetition. This is what I said. I also said deliberately, I mentioned these two districts because they saved us a lot of time to avoid unnecessary repetition. That's what I said. That's what I will do on my right-hand side. After finishing with my right-hand side, I am going to come to my left-hand side and follow the same procedure. Hey, niyabona organize lo baba. Hey, organize, uhlelekile lo baba. Kunina abafana abancane uhlelekile umkhulu. Uhlelekile umkhulu. Sengiyacela ke manje abazofisa ukukhuluma kulolu hlangothi lwangapha. Baphakamise izandla. Ngizobe sengibanika inombolo zokukhuluma. Now I am coming on my right-hand side. I wanted those who want to speak to have their hands up. I'm going to allocate them numbers and then allow them to speak. Izandla ke ngapha engifuna ukuyibheka. Ngibona isandla esisodwa sikamfowethu. On this side I see only one hand. This is the hand that I'm going to have. Oh, no, Bhuti is the second hand. Zimbili izandla engiyibonayo. Ngizobe sengiza-ke kuleli side leli nakhona ngenza okufanayo. Number one is your opportunity. After you have finished, I will allow the interpreter and then move to number two. Oh, sorry, I forgot this thing because we don't know, all of us. Please introduce yourselves like we did, your name and the organization where you are coming from. I forgot to mention that.
Okay, members of the committee, ladies and gentlemen here present, as well as those who are connected to us electronically. My name is Robert Harvey. I'm the transformation manager for Gold Circle, and I thank you for allowing me this opportunity to present to you, and good morning to all of you. Chair, you made the request at the start of this meeting, and you said no repetition, so I'm going to heed your request for no repetition. And I know you've heard from many of my colleagues and seniors in my organization already, who spoke about the different aspects of our involvement within the communities. My presentation today is more to speak about our relationship with the rural communities. And when I say rural communities, I'm referring to rural horses, I'm referring to horse owners, and I'm referring to the communities at large. Part of my function as transformation manager is to coordinate corporate social initiatives for Gold Circle. And one of these are our historic role in upliftment of the well-being of horses in rural areas, as well as providing technical expertise to rural racing. Gold Circle is a licensed racecourse operating KZN. The horse races that we have at our racecourse are for thoroughbred horses. We have, however, introduced one of the rural races, the Heritage Cup, to our Scottsville racecourse, and this race will run in September again this year. This race at the Scottsville racecourse allows rural horses the opportunity to feel what it's like to run on a well-manicured track, with the hope that in the future they will have this as on an ongoing basis. Also, has for many years played a crucial role in the planning around rural races by using skilled staff to provide technical support to rural horse racing. Some of the functions which we perform are preparing the racetrack at the different race venues. A lot of tracks are not maintained throughout the year, and so it's our expert comes and he assesses the track and does the necessaries to make sure that the track is ready for when the race will run. We also do judging of the races through our relationship that we formed with the owners of the rural horses, and we've been able to give them the confidence that the judging of this will be done fairly, and they have no reason to be foul play when a horse race. We also ensure that the jockeys wear the right jerseys. Gold Circle has provided jerseys. When the horses are running, you can identify. That's number one, the horse. And when you look at the race card, you can see, so riding the horse, so the horse that was riding there. And that's how the public is taking the races, the screen when the horses come past them. We also provide safety gear for the jockeys. It's important for Gold Circle to ensure the safety of the jockeys and the horses. And we've extended the same amount of concern when it comes to our rural races, where we provide the jockeys with skull caps, which they utilize so that should they unfortunately fall off a horse, they are at least protected from serious injury. We also ensure that the race start is fair. Every horse owner has a desire to want to win the race. And the starting point of wanting to win the race is that the race starts fairly and that every horse is given a fair opportunity to get his first stride in, to put forward his best opportunity. We also provide technical support and administrative support to the races. And what we do there is we gather all information of the results of the races to make sure it's sent through for the jockeys and the owners to be paid out the correct stakes at the end of a horse race. Gold Circle is passionate about horses. It is therefore important that the horses get the required health assistance and assessing before it can participate in the road race. This is possible through Gold Circle's ongoing support for the Coastal Horse Care Unit. The Coastal Horse Care Unit conducts clinics throughout KZN with the aim of improving the well-being of all rural horses, not only rural race horses. This is especially welcomed if the horse owner does not have the means to provide for the health care of the horse. Gold Circle provides the Coastal Horse Care Unit with financial assistance to make this possible. A team of Gold Circle staff also accompany the outreach team when conducting these clinics. Our passion doesn't only lie with thoroughbred racing, but also extends to rural horses in general. And it is important for us to continue this journey with rural horse owners to ensure their horses get as much help as possible to improve their well-being. Over the years of interventions, there has been a marked improvement in the overall health of horses. These interventions are not only to help the horses, but also to share knowledge with owners and grooms that take care of the horses. This is especially the case when we find a horse that is not very well. Guidance is given to the horse owner or the groom on how to best nurse the horse back to health. Medication is provided to treat wounds and general ailments. It has been our aim for many years to upskill role players from the rural areas to play a greater role in the future of rural racing. Rural racing has the potential of growing throughout the province with the right amount of skills transfer and development that Gold Circle can provide. The role that Gold Circle plays in keeping the sport alive is crucial. It allows for the owners and the jockeys to win stake money if their horses are well and healthy to do so. This injection of funds through winnings has a positive impact, especially at a time where employment opportunities are scarce. Small businesses also have an opportunity to apply the trade and generate an income, which creates a further upliftment in the community. Job opportunities are also created through these opportunities. The horses are the key participants in rural racing, And without the horses, it would just be a gathering. So the horses need all the assistance to prepare for these races. All of the above things which I mentioned comes back to one very important starting point, the well-being of horses and well-regulated rural racing environment. Without these two things, rural racing would decline. The skills and investment that Gold Circle provides will enable rural racing to become better established and to reach its growth potential. This, however, requires Gold Circle to have the means to continue invest and participate in the future of rural horse racing. The proposed bill will not only have a devastating effect on Gold Circle, but will have a devastating impact on the rural horse, their owners, and the community who all benefit from these events which take place. The bill proposes that rural racing will be better enabled, but this will in fact erode all the hard work that has been put into the sport over the many years. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my presentation with you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harvey. Njengamanje sesizocela unumber 2. Unumber 2 socela ukuthi azisho ukuthi ubani uqhamuka kusiphi isakhiwo abesebeka izethulo zakhe.
NginguDisemba Nkosi. Ngibuya la eMajuba. Ngila ku rural horse racing. Esami sethulo sifishane noma kusicelo. Lapha enkulumeni ethi uyaphucwa wenzwani cha ngeke ngene ngoba nonikiwe uyenza ngendlela enza ngayo kodwa engikhala ngakho ngikhona mina la emahashini lana gijinyiswa into esicelo sami sokuthi abasibizela umdlalo bayasibizela kodwa indawo eziningi ababhekeleli amahashe ethu la yodlala khona kuvele nje kusikwe nje isiganga sisikwe nje ngelento ukuthi nje ngoba sekutshani busikiwe akudlalwe la mangingahle ngenze example yakhona kule ngasempangeni lapha ngase last ngiyodlala ngakhona nje le ngasempangeni kwasikwa nje isikhotha amahashe engakhona ukudlala asilimalela amahashe kimi ngibona osuke ebiza umdlalo usuke yena ene income noma kuzoba nenzuzo yakhe angabe sabukelela lamahashe azodlala ukuthi wona indawo i-right in for wona uma ungazulalelisise isikhathi edlala athi amajaji amahashe ayaphuma yangena yingoba kusukelwe nje isiganga sasikwa kwasekuthiwa kubiza umdlalo lamahashe siyathanda ngoba sifisa ukuya phambili ngawo kodwa uma ngabe kusukelwa nje iganga indawo engabhekelela ukuthi ashiyeke limale yini kuyasilimaza lo oqala okwesibili sifisa ukuthi sithole ama-training ngojoki bethu ukuze nabo bakwazi ukunyuka ngekwezinto nabantu abachasa ekudleni kokuthi nathi sifundiseke ngoba lo mdlalo siyafisa uye nje ufane no-Durban July nalo owamahashi ethu omtrebhelo siyafisa ukuthi nawo awukhuphuke uye phezulu kodwa sihlule ukuthi ulwazi mhlawumbe lingalifishane ngiyabonga.
Nkosi yamakhosi samakhosi phela thina okuzalwa okuzalwa ngeziphutha la I should have interpreted what Mr. Harvey was saying and then I forgot and then I allowed the next speaker. Ngithi hayi cha ngiyaxolisa abafowethu bekufanele uTolika angene emva kwaMnumzana uHarvey kodwa mina ngakhohlwa ngadedela owesibili kodwa ke kuyacaca ukuthi uTolika uzokutolika kokubili uzotolika okusho uMnumzana uHarvey utolika okwenziwe uMnumzana uNkosi.
Mr. Harvey is from Gold Circle. He is the transformation manager. Umnumzana uHarvey ke usuka lapha kwa Gold Circle. Umphathi ke wenguquko. Ucela ukuthi ke ahambisane ke nesicelo sikaSihlalo sokuthi kungalokhu kuphindwa ke into ke ebisishiwo. Wathi ke uyazi ke ukuthi ke zitholakala izimvo zozakwabo. Kodwa yena ke uzokhuluma ke ngendima ke noma ngeqhaza ke elidlalwa uyena emphakathini ke ehlwempu. Uthi ke akwenzayo kweseka imphakathi ke nokuthi ke ayicije ke ngamakhono ke kwezemjaho. Uthi ke bahamba ke emqhudelano emtelebhelo belekelela ke imphakathi bebacija ngamakhono baze bebathathe ke beyobazwisa ke bebathathe bebase einkundleni ezifana ke no Scottsville lapho ke abafike bebazwise ke ukuthi ke ngempela ke kunjani ke uma usufika ke egroundini la ngempela kungafani ke nalama ground ke asemakhaya aphula ke inyawo zamahashe. Eminye ke imjaho ke imjaho yabo ke uthe ke ibase endaweni ezahlukahlukene. Uthi ke kuyaye kufike ke ungcweti noma ungoti kwezamahashi afike ke abafundise ke emphakathini ukuthi ke kusukela ekutheni ihashi liphathwa kanjani kuze ke kufike ke eqeqeshweni kaJockey. Bona ke indima ke enye indima abayidlalayo nje Gold Circle babuka ke ukuthi ke bayaye bebe amajaji emjaho bebuka ukuthi ke awekho yini amaphutha enzekayo imjaho ihamba ke ngendlela ke efanele yini. Bephinde ke bebanikeze namajezi ukuthi ke bekwazi ukubonakala ukuthi ke leli hash nali ihashi lika mhlonishwa ke uNkosi ngoba ke egqoke ijezi liblue. So abantu ke bekwazi ke ukuthi ke bemkhomoze. Baphinde ke banakekele ke no Jockey ngokuthi ke bebanikeze bebanakekele bebasize ngendawo yokuhlala. Bephinde ke nikeze ke nezinto zokuvikela ke ukuthi ke uma ke ewehashini uyakwazi ke ukuthi ke kungafani nokuthi nje ushaya ke ngethambo phansi akwazi kodwa ke ukuthi engaphuki uma ewa ehashini. Nokuthi ke lonke ke ihashi ngokwabo balinikeza ke ithuba lokuthi liveze ke ukuthi ke linekhono ke elingakanani. Baphinde ke baliqeqeshe. Bakwenza lokhu ke ngokuthatha ke imininingwano yemjaho bebuka ke ukuthi ihashi ligijime kanjani noma ke noJockey walo ke benze kanjani ke emjahweni eyedlule ukuze ke bekwazi ukuthi ke belihlole bese benikeza ke umbono wabo ke kuya phambili. Baphinde ke bevakashela imphakathi beyoqeqeshwa ke ngokwemjaho ngoba ke abantu ke abanayo imali so bona ke bangenelela ekutheni ke bexhase ke kuleyo ndawo futhi bathi ke bayaqinisekisa ukuthi ke amahashi athola ke ukunakekelwa. Lokhu ke akusizi kuphela amahashi kodwa ke kusiza ke nabanikazi bamahashi ukuthi bekwazi ke ukunakekela amahashi abo bebafundise ke ukuthi ke ihashi linakekelwa kanjani ngoba phela bona ke banazo ke zonke ke indlela zokunakekela amahashi. Uthi ke ezamahashi ke zasemakhaya maningi noma zinamandla ke ukuthi zingakhula kakhulu uma ke kuqhutshekwa ke zinikezwa ke usizo olufanele. Uthi ke le mali ke enikezwa uGold Circle yenza omkhulu umehluko ke empilweni yabantu ivula futhi ke namathuba emisebenzi. Ngaphandle ke kwamahashi imqhudelano ke yomjaho yamahashi ke ngeke ke izibe khona. Ngakho ke lokhu kusibuyisela ekutheni amahashi kufanele anakekeleke. Lokhu kudinga ke uGold Circle ukuthi ke akwazi ukutshala imali emahashini nasemjahweni yasemakhaya ke emphakathini yasemakhaya. So lokhu ke kushintsha ke impilo ke yabantu ke kubanikeze namathuba emisebenzi. Ngiyabonga sihlalo. Bese ke siza ke kubaba ke uDecember Nkosi. Udla ngamandla ke uthe usuka Royal Horse Racing. Uthe ke yena ke I don't want to say much about those that don't want reductions or on their allocation. When we are invited for horse racing, some people don't give us proper fields. Like the last race that we went to Mpangeni, our horse got injured. We need people that horse operators must give us proper fields so that our horses don't get injured, and we still want to go or take the rural horse racing further. We want to take it step up. We also said that he wishes that they get skills development for their jockeys, and they want to improve the rural horse racing. Thank you.
We have dealt with the right-hand side. We are now coming to my left-hand side. Sifuna izandla ezophakama kulolu hlangothi lolu. La okuzokwenzeka khona ukuthi babeke imbono yabo. Sengiyayicela ke izandla eziphakamayo kulolu hlangothi lwami lesobunxele. Ngibona lesandla lesi. Bengiyogcina sengibuyele emuva nje kodwa ngize ngathanda ukubela ikho ngangani isikole kuthiwa sine order. Ahamba 2009 May. If you go to JG Zuma School in Besta phakathi kwePhoenix neNanda uzothola nje isikole seyilokho engasishiya seyikona. Ngangayikhuluma into engiyiphinda ngiyikhuluma kanye. Khuluma kanye nje. Kwenze kahle kumholo wami wevesi weza ngapha kodwa bengizokwenzela ifavor ngibuye. Ngifuna ke izandla kulolu hlangothi okuyizona ezophawula ngalomthetho siseke esivivini. Esikabhuti omncane lapha kwami you are number 1. Esikabhuti ofaka imask number 2. Esikabhuti osuke ngalena you are number 3. Ningakhohlwa ke bafowethu njalo ukuzisha amagama enu nezibongo uma niqhamuka enhlanganweni ethile nakhona nikusho futhi lokho sokujabulela kakhulu. Emajuba ke izandla okuyibona zencane kangaka. Vese baningi abaphawula kulokho sifika kokuqala kulele hole lapha kwamasipala. Sayithatha zonke lezo lawo submissions zabo. So number 1 uzisho ke mfowethu ubani okabani mawuqhamuka enhlanganweni ethile uzisho nalokho.
Angibonge mphathi wehlelo. Ngicela ukubingelela indlu yonke. Okhulumayo uSiphamandla Nkosi ongusihlalo weMajuba Rural Horse Riding Association. Ngiphakamisa ukuthi siyakuphasisa ukuphakanyiswa kwalomthetho ngoba kuzosiza thina esivela eindaweni zasemakhaya. Indawo zethu azithuthukile kumanje azinawo ama-ground asezingeni lokudlala. Ngikhuluma nje ihashi eliwinile kwiDandi July livela emadlangeni. Emakhaya liwine u-300,000 kwiDandi July. Kodwa lelo hashi kuyihashi elivela emakhaya angachasekile. Sisaswele so umthetho siyawucela ukuthi uphase ngoba ithina esazi inkinga nazo zonke esibhekane nazo zamahashi omterebhero asemakhaya. If singakwazi ukuyiphathela thina njengoba lo mjaho sawuthatha kobaba kudala besadlalela izinkukhu sesikhonile ukuthatha sawubeka ezingeni elithile. So imali le uma ingeza kithi yonke kungasiza lokho ukuthi sithuthuke sigcine sibona ojoki bethu beya kuma academy ngoba ngikhuluma nje sinojoki abangaphezulu kuka 70 yonke iNatal kodwa akekho ujoko ke waya kwi-academy. So ayofunda ngehashi lomterebhelo. If singachaseka kungasiza bese ngizongena la kwi-transportation yamahashi uma siyodlala. Njengoba i-district yaseMajuba inomasipala abathathu okuyi-Danhauser esemakhaya kube iMadlangeni esemakhaya neNewcastle. Kuyaye kube nzima kubafethu abangasebenzi ukuthi batransporte amahhashi eze komunye umdlalo. So besingacela ukuthi le mali mayisingenile ingasiza uma izile kithi sibone. Nanokuthuthukisa-ke ngoba sesinomjaho wabantu besifazane esibafakile. Ngikhuluma nje lo nyaka eledanti besinamaqembu ahlukene kabili, bekhona elika-under 12 nelingaphezulu kuka-12. Adlale kahle amantombazane ngokuyimisela. If singathola nje i-academy siwathuthukise la mantombazane ethi enza isikolo ebe ethuthuka nangabo. Ngicabanga ukuthi hayi bese ngibekile sihlalo, ngiyabonga.
Greetings, Chair. My name is Spamandla Nkosi, Chairperson of Majuba Rural Horse Riding. We support the bill. We do not have proper fields. We need support in that aspect. And for an example, if you can look at the horse that won the Dandi July was from Emadlangeni. The horse won 300,000, but it's from a rural area. So we have the potential, but we do not have the funds. We inherited these horses from our forefathers, and we have turned something out of them. We have 70 jockeys in our area that do not have that have never been to an academy. So we've got areas like Danhauser, Madlangeni, Majuba, but we don't have the funds to support these areas. We have now introduced a female race, like we've just had in the Dandi July. But if we can get the support, we can get more females into the sector, and we can improve the sector in our area. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Ngibingelele.
Singakhohlwa ke mholi wami ukuzisho igama nesibongo.
Ubaba Hlatshwayo lo uVusumuzi Hlatshwayo oqhamuka khona la eMajuba endaweni yaseDanhauser. Ngibonga kakhulu ukuthola leli thuba, noma ke okunye ke ebengikuphethe usekubeke konke nangumfo kaNkosi. Kodwa ke ngithi siyacela bakithi ukuthi nisifakele imali la ekomidini ukuze kulungiswe ama-ground, ngoba ihashi kuze liye emidlalweni omkhulu funeke liqala ema-groundini asemakhaya. Tholakala ukuthi layo ma-ground mabi, ihashi ke lisheshe lilimala inyawo ihlakala uma lihamba endaweni engalunganga. Sicela ukuthi ke uma ngabe ikhona indlela nisifakele imali ingene emakomidini kuzolungiswa amabhande lawo. uNkosi ube sechaze konke okunye. Siyabonga.
Greetings, Chair. My name is Vusumuzi Hlatshwayo from Danhauser. I have been mostly covered by Mr. Nkosi, but I would like to plead with you to assist us financially because we are struggling. When, for instance, in our case, when a horse has to go and compete, the horse starts training in the rural areas where we don't have proper fields, and most of the time they get injured. So we really need assistance to improve our situation. in that aspect. Thank you very much, Chair.
Ake sibingelele umbongeni lo kwamajola lapha yana emadlangeni sikwi-rural house. Sibesiloko sikhona nje nakusaqalwa lapha lemhlangano sihamba. Kodwa ke kukhona lapha engithi ngiqondisa khona futhi ngingaqondise khona kahle. Kukhona lento ye% engake ngabuza ngayo kumhlangano ebesikhona kuwo la eNewcastle. Ngaba nesicelo sokuthi i% alenyuke mhlawumbe kungakhona ukuphenduleka lapho ukuthi alenyuke mhlambe noma liye 1%. Angazi noma kwagcina mhlambe lokho kwadluliseka ngendlela efanele noma ke mhlambe khona okwenzakalayo okufanele siqondiseke lapho. Ndani futhi leli % njengoba liza njena inhlangano ngiyathola ukuthi ngilongasuka kukhona ininganyana nazo ziyafuna ukuthi zihambe nathi thina abantu bamahashi omtelepele. Yikho lokho esikhulumayo ngoba sikhona lapha manje into engiyibukayo isekuthinini siyabantu bamahashi omtelepelo singaphansi kwabantu abanye vele labo kuyibona namanje bekhuluma ukuthi bafuna ukuthi sibe ngaphansi kwabo. Ebesivele namanje singaphansi kwabo thina singelutho. Njengoba ke nje ke besikade singelutho nje asazi lozothatha ukuthi thina uzosifaka kangakanani kwi% ezobe litholakele. Silithola kanjani thina bantu bamahashi omtelepelo ngoba manje still lelo % lisaya kuye njengaye lo obekade vele khona. Lo bekade vele khona esiphethe siyazizwa inkulumo. Siyabantu bamahashi sifuna ukulekeleleka. Njengoba sifuna ukulekeleleka njena ngizokhuluma nje ngokuthi makuthiwa kiwe eDandi. Makiwa lapha eDandi kunokuthi kukhishwe ukudla uze labo bantu abazosijovela. Lokho kudla kuzoba okwelanga elilodwa noma amathathu ngoba usuye eDandi. Kodwa yena lo muntu uvela unalo i% lethu. Ofanayo naye lo olitholile naye ngathi kodwa ke bekungeke sithola isikhathi sonke unyaka uqalwa sizoniwa mhlawumbe amasaka amabili noma elilodwa ngoba siye eDandi siyazondlela amahashi kanti isicelo sethu ukuthi uhulumeni uma ebanika i% laba abanikayo abasibheke ababe nokulekelela uma ngabe kunelokhu kunemali ekhishiwe sabalekelela ekunini ababayithole ngoba siyalekelelana lana thina siyazondlela wethu amahashi kuyadula. Amagrawundi la okukhulunywa ngawo sineGrawundi la eLeicester. Lo grawundi lisifumeza ngendlela esimanga njengoba simajuba asinakho ukuthi sibhekelelwe nalelo umdlalo waseDandi lo waqala lo siyabantu bamahashi kodwa still namhla lokhu alikho iGrawundi lethu elisemgangathweni njengaseDandi ngoba nathi siyamajuba siyafuna ukuba neGrawundi elisemgangathweni njengeGrawundi laseDandi. I% litholwa yabo ngakho-ke singa-appointa iGrawundi lethu esicela ukulungisela lona lo othathayo phansi kokuthi sifisa iGrawundi lethu singagijima kulaya amanzi esijima kuwo libe nezihlalo libe nokubiyelwa libe semgangathweni sikwazi ukuthi ngesinye isikhathi umdlalo wethu ngesinye isikhathi umdlalo uzemajuba memziyadi kuzona zonke indawo siyabantu bahashi singagcine ekuthini ukuthi mayethathile kulamba amahashi kungafundiseki ingane zethu nathi yabo bobanikazi bamahashi singaqedi ukuthi yashiye siwone ngaye kakhulu ekuthini inkulumeni ekhulumekayo azenzeke lezi zinto uma ngabe egcine phatha loyo zophatha kungagcini kuyilento ebivele iyenzeka eyaziwa yiwo wonke umuntu wamahasho omtelebhelo asemakhaya. Lokho ke ngisho ukuthi ngicela ukuthi uma kuqhubeka akuqhubeke kodwa loyo zothatha akazi ukuthi thina abantu bamahasho kade sikhona asikuboni ukuya phambili sifuna into ezoya phambili ezothi mayifaka thina nathi sivele ukuthi bakhona labantu bamahasho omtelebhelo nakhe sibenzela khona sizobathatha la sibabekela siyazizwa kodwa kungagcini siba kulento esikuyona. Ngiyabonga.
Greetings, Chair. My name is Mbongeni Majola from Madlangeni Rural Horse Riding. I have attended these meetings, and I once asked about the percentage to be increased. I just want to find out if that has happened or not. I see that there are people that want us to be beneath them all the time. I see that, but I don't want to get into it. What I want to say is that we need assistance. When we go to Dundee, we are given food, but that food is only for 3 days, and yet this person has a percentage that he has requested that should assist us, and we are only given food for 3 days. So our wish is for government to send the whatever percentage that we are going to get, to send it straight to us so that we can be able to do things on our own. We feed our own horses. We have a field here, at Leicester. We started a long time ago, but there is no improvement in our sport or in our field. It's nothing like the field at Dundee. We can show you the field that needs to be improved. So that whoever comes can come and improve that field. Then the waterlogged field that we train our horses on, that will help us to host events, host events interchangeably with Dundee. We must also be trained on how to feed horses and how to take care of them. We support the bill, but we want to see the difference in our sport. Thank you.
Sifuna ukuniseko yonke yakhulunywa kusuka eNewcastle kuze kuyo le ndawo kuzobeka ilapha emshinini enibhaliwe futhi yonke indaba eproposal 1%. Sathi lokho kasibhalile kwayona ngoba nje mawawukhona yakhuluma ngoba isikhulunywe endaweni eziningi nayo yonke leyo nto leyo. So nje ukhululeke na yonke into kodwa kwezimpendulo macengwane njengoba ngishilo kuqala, we are not going to respond to any issue except to say, boss, we were asking if it was captured. Indeed it was captured, both in the recordings and verbally, and not verbally, and in writing. I put it in writing. And my mnangihlupha ngento eyodwa ngiphatha ibhuku lami yonke indawo kodwa masekukhulunywa ngivula ibhuku lami makuphikiswana ngibuyele elokhuka kwi-recording. Manje into esihlupha ngayo sine order elokhu kumele kusebenza. Ngizwa kuthiwa khona abafowethu abaqhamuka othukela. Ngike ngasho ngathi iBergville ibe nenkinga ukuthi itaxi yayo kuthiwa ifike late. Uma kifike late ngizwa kuthiwa bayafika njengamanje. Makhuluma ngeBergville kusho ukuthi ukukhuluma ngothukela district. Uma kukhona umuntu oyedwa oqhamuka othukela district ongasitshela ukuthi bona bawubuka kanjani umthetho uyena esingamnika ngoba bahoxisile. Sengathi bengenza njengabantu fowethu nodadewethu abasemajuba. Abasemajuba kufika uhlalo wakhuluma egameni lamajuba. Wathi nomunye obengaboni ukuthi uhlalo uphakamisile. Waphakamisa la wathi hayi sekimzwini uhlalo yilokhu ke sikuvumelene. Sibalekela ukuphindwa kwento eyodwa. Verse ngoba isuke isibhaliwe yarekhodwa lapha. Bengicela nje ukwazi ukuthi ukhona yini umfowethu noma udadewethu who comes from uthukela district who can give us the picture as to how they are given. I mean, because I've been told the 2 delegations came late. That's what I was told. Bangathike sebefikile bese kuthiwa uhlalo wabavalela ngaphandle. Ukhona oqhamuka othukela ongakhuluma egameni lothukela district. Ngiyazi ukuthi iBergville ngaphansi kothukela. Ababantu wedwa wenkosi wazi kanjani? Ngingakutshela zonke izikole zasemangwaneni, school by school, because I visited them when I was the provincial secretary of the union. Abanye basho ukuthi lokho hawu baba uNkosi uyamazi lo bethola ama clean audit kumasipala losuphethe umlotshwa ngokutshela sahlangana naye ezikolweni. Nayi insizwa efuna ukukhulumela uthukela district. Ngizocela ke bhuti yoba uzokhuluma nje uyazisho ukuthi ubani wakwabani nithini nina ngalomthetho sivivinyo. Nilahlekelweke ngoba umthetho sivivinyo siubeke ngesilungu saphinde sawubeka ngesizulu ukuthi uquketheni. Kwenzeka ukuthi nani othukela district nucwaningile siyafisa ukuthi uthukela luthini lo.
Ngiyabonga Hlani. Mina nguChair Lakaje nguhlalo ngapha uthukela. Ngizokhahlamba kodwa nje suka uthukela sifile sixolise nje ukufika late sando kufika noma inkulumo sisingasayitholanga kahle ukuthi bokuhamba kanjani. Kodwa ngoba asiqali ukuba khona lana kule nhlangano efana nale. Ngiyezwa abafowethu mabekhuluma ukuthi njoba sisuka nje endaweni eyodwa endaweni ngokuhlangana ngeassociation amahashi inkulumo yethu icishe ifane nenkinga ababekayo abafowethu cishe kuhambisane nje konke. Thina ngale ndlela esibona ngayo from othukela i-challenge ikhona nakhona amahashi akhona amahashi futhi siyawathanda okukhona amahashi njoba elimala besifisa ukuthi nodokotela bangenelele kakhulu emahashini basilekelele ngamahashi wethu njoba besidanti nje amahashi amaningi abuya alimala amanye afa amahashi so sigcine singatholanga ukuthi ihashi libulawe yini. So odokotela ngoba manje sisasikhokhela odokotela ngemali yethu kutholakala ukuthi noma ihashi ulibona linenkinga mawuthi uyakudokotela uthole ukuthi manje amandla anginawo ukuthi mhlambe udokotela ngakwazi ukumkhokhela. So besifisa ukuthi njoba sikupropose iphesenti leli liyosilekelela kulezo zinto lezo mawuthi liyaphumelela and futhi umdlalo wamahashi uyayiqoqa ne-youth nje estradini ngoba njoba manje i-youth yala eSouth Africa seyinenkinga kangaka so kuyakusilekelela abantu bayawathanda kakhulu amahashi kodwa nje ama-ground esidlala kuwo gcina nje amahashi segibela kubantu ama-grandstands awekho noma kuthiwa mhlambe silungisela ama-grandstands kube nendawo esafe ukuthi silungisela ama-ground ukuthi amahhashi akwazi ukugijima kahle angasondeli kubantu. Iloko kubaluleke kakhulu, ngithi singabonga kakhulu uma kungenzeka ngaleyo ndlela leyo. So nojoki bethu ukuthi banakekelwe ngendlela nabo ukujokisa bakhokhela. So kunzima nje ukuba umnikazi wehhashi ngoba makungekho usizo mhlawumbe eliqhamuka kuma-stakeholders ukuthi mhlawumbe sonilekelela kokuthize ukufita ihhashi nokulikhulisa nokulitraina nje kuba nzima kakhulu. Engingakusho ngithi ayiloko mfethu sibuya othukela noma inkulumo singasayithola njengoba engichazile, kodwa nje ngiyabonga nje ukuthi sithole ithuba. Ngiyabonga.
Yodwa la ukuthi umthetho niwubhekile. Ngizothi uzwe laba bade bekhuluma wabona ukuthi hayi ngathi kukhulunywa into eyifanayo. Lokho kasethola xolisa kakhulu bafowethu kulo wetekiso nibambezele. Sixolise kakhulu ukuthi lokho kodwa ke ngenhlanhla senivulela iwindi nabeka sawazi ukuthi sizwe abantu abaqhamuka othukela. Sesibezwile from all other districts. And I was noticing that we have not heard the voice from Othugela district. Then when Bergville was on the way, and I'm told the escort was also came late. Also, escort is part of Othugela district. So there would be no need for opening the space to the local municipality because they might have discussed it at a district level. Now we are coming to the end of this engagement. Sesifika ke manje bafowethu ekupheleni kwalomhlangano. I'm going to request Honorable P. Zulu to come to the podium and pass the vote of thanks on behalf of the legislature of KwaZulu-Natal, specifically the Finance Portfolio Committee. Ngithi sesifike ekugcineni ke manje bafowethu. Kwase kuthi lacu leyansizwe encane athi awutolika usamdedelana. Hey yabona namhlanje kuyasho ukuthi ngiyakithi le ebhoda eMozambique neSwaziland. Ufuna ngiyovaya kwami eThekwini bese ngiye emakhaya. Ngiyobheka inkomo zami nezimbuzi zami. Sitheke uMageba uyena ozosibongela njengesishamthetho ebonga thina sonke la ikakhulukazi egameni lekomiti lezimali. Kodwa ke njengamanje sicela ukunika uTolika ukuthi asho ukuthi leyansizwa yaseBergville Othugela district ibithini yona ukuze konke sizwe ukuthi kuthuweni. Tolika.
Greetings, Chair. I am Mr. Lagasha from Chair of Uthugela. We apologize for coming late. And it's not for the first time that we attend such a gathering as this one. I've heard my brothers speaking, and I want to say that we have similar challenges. At Uthugela, we do have horses, and we need assistance from the doctors. Because as we went to the Dandi July, we had horses getting injured, and some even died. And to some that died, we don't even know the cause of death. So maybe we could have, with the assistance, we could have saved them. So this percentage will help us a lot. And horse racing also assists to get the youth out of the streets, because the youth is very fond of horse racing. So if we get more of them into the horse racing industry, then there will be less on the street. So, and we also need fields, because the fields that we use are not proper fields, and they do not even have grandstands. So people are at risk because sometimes a horse would just collapse and hit spectators. We also need to have our jockeys taken care of, and owning a horse is very expensive. Thank you, Chair.
No, siyabingelela sihlalo amalungu ekomiti, siyabingelela kuma stakeholders ahlukene, ikakhulukazi abafowethu nodadewethu abasijoyine sethuliwe. Siyikomiti ke elibhekele ezeyimali esishamthetho. Futhi size ukuzogcwalisa lokho okushiwo umthethosisekelo section 118 womthethosisekelo wezwe. Kodwa ke ngithunywe ukuzobonga mhlawumbe asiqale ngokubonga usihlalo wekomiti ukuthi uma kukhona izikhalo eziqhamukayo ukuthi sasingafinyelelanga kahle kubona bonke abese ecela ukuthi asibuye size la. Siyabonga kakhulu ngoholo usihlalo wekomiti, but also siyafisa ukubonga bonke ababambe iqhaza. Sisafika la sihlalo sibone engathi kwanzima kwangathi ke singene kwi-fruitless exercise ngoba ngathi sikhuluma bebekhona. Kodwa siyabonga abafowethu ukuthi noma ibekhona ingqinamba kodwa niphokophele ukuba nathi. Ikakhulu ke ngaphandle sihlalo kokuthi sibe nethuba lokuzokhuluma ngalomthetho sivivinyo ohlongozwayo or this particular amendment bill, but there are few things that we learn also as the legislature, and also the challenges that is facing the sector itself, which I believe it must also kind of find expression in the processes of the legislature. It's not a public participation that only deals with into amendment to the bill, but also the operations and the challenges that is facing the sector. So which we believe ke khona indlela okufanele sibuye sibuke ukuthi kulekelela kanjani mhlawumbe eminyango efanelekileyo isondele. Siyafisa ukubonga nakumalungu ekomiti abafowethu nodadewethu abasilekelelayo administratively esishamthetho. Thank you so much. Sinifisela ke sifisa ukubonga also nomkhandlu ngoba siqale saba nosomlomo womkhandlu wase Newcastle undaba ezitha. Siyabonga kakhulu ukwamukeleka, but siyafisa ke ukuthi mase sibuyela emakhaya engathi uJehova womusa angasihlenga sonke sifike siphephile. Travel mercies back to your homes. Thanks.
Thank you very much Mntwana ndaba ezitha. Themba ukuthi mase niyobeka lengane yakwenu ukuthi siphathe nisimeme nathi sizogiya emcimbini wokubeka kwesilo. Njengamanje ngizodedela intokazi ezothula izimemezelo bese ke emva kwalokho sesiqedile thina ebesikthunyiwe sizokwenza ishamthetho. Ngiyacela ke intokazi omsebenzi weshamthetho KwaZulu-Natal uzothula lesimemezelo.
Ngiyabonga sihlalo, ngibingelela itafula elingaphambili abahlonishwa bami nawo wonke umuntu okhona la ngaphakathi. Isimemezelo enginaso ukuthi uma sesiphuma kunamanzi esilungisele wona, ngakho ngizocela sisebenzise lo mnyango lapha ngemuva uzodlula nje uthatha iphakethe elilodwa bese uyaphuma. What I was saying in isiZulu is that we have something prepared for you. We ask that you use that exit at the back, where you will just take one parcel on your way out. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you very much, official of the legislature. Siyabonga sikhulu sikahulumeni seshamthetho ukuthi usinikeze lo mbiko lo ubaluleke kakhulu. Akekho okozodlula angadluli lapha nokuthiwa sidlula khona sonke. Thank you very much. Colleagues, will meet sometime. But please, stakeholders, uningakhohlwa ukuthi usuku lokulethwa kwezethulo mawufuna ukuyishintsha ufaka okunye akusebona ukuthi uvalwa mhla ka1 August. Ukuvalwa kwazo sokumhla ka19 August. So cela ukuthi nazi ukuthi nalelo thuba lelo. What I was saying, please don't forget what the legal advisor mentioned. when she was concluding her presentation. She indicated that those who want to put their inputs, revise the already submitted inputs, are free to do so. And the deadline is no longer the 1st of August, but it is the 19th of August, 2022. Because wanted to kunikeza the stakeholders ifike namuhla ezayibanjwe ukuthi sanike short notice babe nethuba nabelanele lokubeka ukuthi bona babeka kanjani. Sikujwayeleke bafowethu ukuthi into siyibhale Nkosi. We must get used to reduce anything into writing. We must get used so that you don't get misquoted. Senzela ukuthi ungasho ukuthi asikuzwanga kahle kanti makubhaliwe kuzosinikeza nesithombe ukuthi noma besingakuzwanga kahle hle unikhuluma kodwa masekubhaliwe kufaka nakhe nikusho. Ayikulokho ke bafowethu. Thank you very much. The meeting has come to an end. No one is going to go through this door, but you go there and take that thing that our own official requested you to take. Thank you very much.